Hello and welcome, this is Angie. Thank you for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today we're going to look at the assembly of a 3D shadow box or vignette die to assemble a card like you can see on screen. To get started, you'll need to cut one of these panels, 3 with the arch inserted, 1 with the bundle of joy wording, 1 with the pelican and the bundle, 2 side panels, and 1 of each of the accessories. So a summary of the pieces you'll need, it can be seen on screen now. I'm just going to score and burnish where you can see those score marks. They do already score, however I like to recrease and redefine those scored areas myself. So I use my score tool and my bone folder to do that, as you can see on screen. Next, I'm going to add some colour and personality to the accessories. I've decided to add colour using an ink dauber because the little die cuts are so small. So I'm using a sponge dauber and my distress inks. I am using tumbled glass and broken china just to get a bit of dimension. And now I'm going to start colouring the feature pelican carrying the bundle. Now I'm again using my sponge dauber and I'm using my distress ink in spiced marmalade. I'm just using an offcut of paper to just mask off any areas I'm not wanting the colour to transfer to. I just find that this is a really soft and gentle way to add colour to the cut. Once I'm happy with the beak, I'll start using just a colour box silver ink and again my sponge dauber. Now I'm just using this to add a gentle amount of colour to the edge to add some shading to the bird and give it a little dimension. Next I'll take my rusty hinge distress ink and my sponge dauber and just add a little colour to the crane's legs, and that should finish the colouring part of this panel. And now that the colouring is complete, I'm going to take a little gem from my stash and pop the eye onto the crane. Once that's all in place, I'm going to foam mount our accessory for the little blue bundle of joy, because this card is one I'm making for a friend who's just had a baby boy. So I'm just going to use 3 little foam squares. These are just foam squares from my stash. I'm not too sure even what brand they are. I'm just going to quickly remove the adhesive backing and pop the little bundle on there, which gives quite a bit of beautiful dimension to that little panel. And now it's time to colour the second feature panel, which says Bundle of Joy. Again, I'm using my sponge dauber and my distress ink. This is using the tumbled glass, just using blue on the words Bundle of Joy, and then I'm just going to use one of my green colour box inks to add a little bit of green along the filigree at the top right and bottom left of the panel, as you can see on screen. And now that the colouring is all complete, I am going to use my sequins. These are iridescent cup sequins, and I'm also using a aqua sort of colour sequin to add a little bit of blue here and there. Now I'm just going to scatter these on the decorative panels that you'll be able to see when the card is assembled, just sticking them here and there using Ranger Multimedia Matte to ensure that that is really well stuck down and not going to come loose when it's folded down and propped back up and so forth. I'm going to take my back panel and a piece of patterned paper and just decide which part I'd like to have visible when you look from the front of the card. Mark that out with a pencil, cut it out, and then use my Ranger Multimedia Matte to adhere that to the back panel securely. And then we are ready to get assembling. So now I'm just going to start lining up my panels in the order that I think I'd like to have them assembled. So I've got the back panel. I decide to pop one of the arches so that when the pelican's in there, there's a little dimension and shadow. Then another arch, then the bundle of joy, and then another arch. Now I'm pulling the front and back panels out because those need to be glued to the sides, so you just need to trim off the edges. I'm quickly grabbing my Perfect Pearls and water and just giving the panels each a spritz from about 1.5 to 2 feet in the air to just add a bit of shimmer. And hard to catch on camera, but it really does make a difference to the look of those panels. So I'm going to do that to all 6 of the panels. I'm just popping those aside to quickly air dry while I clean my work surface. Now I'm resorting the panels into the order that they will be used, and I'm ready to start assembling. So I'm grabbing the 2 sides. Very important to make sure that the slits are in line with the little slits on the panel. So you'll notice you need to have those up the top. Now I'm just going to pop some multimedia matte on the back part, and I'm going to line up the back panel to the back of the side part. I'm probably not even using the right words here, but given you've got images on screen, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Now I'm just going to hold that quite firmly to let that glue really take hold before I start fiddling and slotting the little pieces together. So you'll see I start on the left and move over to the right, pop each little piece through the little slits in the side, pull them all the way through till I know that they're completely through, and then they've got a little nick in them and you just want to slide them down. You'll feel them lock into place. So I just work from the back to the front, and you can just watch me go through the process on screen if you like. So now that all the fiddly bits are done, I am now going to glue the top part of the side panels, as you can see here, again using my Ranger Multimedia Matte. And then I am going to pop the top panel on and really make sure that that's well secured before I start pressing back and forth on the card to fold it back. And while that glue's drying, I'm just going to grab a few more sequins and add a bit of a decorative element to the front panel. Again, scattering sequins here and there to really add a bit of personality to this front panel. Now I'm just going to grab a couple of the accessories. I decided to use the rattle on the front of the card. Just using my multimedia mat to secure that to the bottom right corner. And then I'm going to have a little play around. I decided I didn't want to add any more of the accessories to the front, so I'm just going to flip the card over, and down the bottom right I'm going to pop the little feet, pitter-patter feet, and again just using the Ranger Multimedia mat to secure those in place. And you must excuse me, trying to find time to craft is quite a challenge with a 10-month-old baby sitting on my lap. So I am trying very hard to secure everything with one hand at present while I'm bouncing baby on the other knee. And you can see that he does get his little fingers in and grab a hold of pieces here and there, which I was going to edit out, but oh well. I guess you can see the challenges that mothers have to deal with if they have a passion for craft and responsibilities of parenthood. With everything adhered, the card is now complete, and you can see it's got some great dimension, shadow and sparkle, and it can fold flat to go in an envelope. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of any future tutorials as I upload them. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Bye.